Hello Soul Sing and welcome to day 15 of the magic. I can't believe it, we're now over the halfway point. It's a Sunday here in England. It is an absolutely awful day with the weather. We're expecting to have 90-mile-an-hour storms this evening. I'm looking at my window now and I'm starting to think I might need to batten down the hatches. So I must admit, I'm very tired this weekend. I've just not long woken up from a nap and I do feel much better after it. But I think this January has just been so busy. I've been running around all over the place, doing 1,000,001 different things. And it was quite funny, actually. I went earlier to the garden centre to take my mum there. And she said to me, Jason, it's almost like you've got 2 or 3 full-time jobs. And you know when someone says something to you and you just sort of step back and go, actually, I think she has a point. Anyway, this is a really interesting day, day 15, because I think we can all relate to it. We all have situations in our life, I know I do, where I've had some bad relationships and it's very easy to hold on to anger, kind of resentment and bad feelings towards someone. But I think this chapter makes a really good point when it says, and it quotes the Buddha, and it says, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. So I wanted to use this day on my stepdad. Now, my stepdad brought me up from a young age, but he's never really had anything positive to say. And I do think he actually suffers from a mental health condition because he's so negative. I could say to him, it's not a very nice day out, and he would automatically go to assume that I'm blaming him for the day. So much to the point that actually, over the years, I've often thought to myself, what are my feelings towards him? And my feelings towards him are actually more pity than anything, because I pity the fact that he's unaware of how his actions and demeanours do affect other people. So he did bring me up from a very young age. I was about, my mum had me when she was 18, and when I was about 1 year old, he came into my life. My brother, well, he is my brother's dad, but I've always kind of known him as my dad. And I think this is a classic example for this day, actually, because every time I ring him up now, he's very negative, never has anything positive to say, never asks about how my business is. He has never even been once to my business. And if you was to give him a general knowledge quiz of 10 questions about me now, I think he would struggle to probably score a 1 or 2. So when I did this exercise with him today, I must admit, when I first sat down, I thought to myself, I've got to find 10 things to be grateful for. And actually, when I did get in the flow, I did start to find them. So I was very grateful for the fact that he treated me and my brother the same, the fact that he gave me means and resource to be able to live. And although there is a lot of bad, there are always good things. And I do honestly believe this day is very important, because I think when you hold on to anger and resentment to a person, I think the Buddha's quote is exactly right. I think you bring it back to yourself and you bring that pain and suffering back to you. And I think this was a perfect day for me to use my stepdad as, the person to really focus on for the day, because I'd love to have a closer relationship with him, but it is very challenging. I remember when I was growing up, actually, a couple of things where I think our relationship really soured was, I remember when my mum was talking about gay pride when I'd sort of come out the closet, so to speak, when I was 16 years old. And one of the things he said was gay pride isn't something that should be celebrated, and effectively gay bars should be underground. So, and there was also another instance where when my nana died, who was his mum, he never told me about the funeral because I wasn't especially close to her. So there's a lot of trauma there, and you can hold on to these things for years. And although some of these things happened, in my life over 20 years ago, I can still find myself now really focusing on them, and actually that doesn't do me and my soul any good. So I think this day is a great day to do, because we've all got these relationships in our life where we do hold on to resentment, and I think the first step of really moving forward in your life is to kind of look inward and think, how is holding on to these kind of traumas really helping you? And don't get me wrong, it can be challenging to find things to be grateful for. There are some people in my life where I would really struggle from people in the past to find something to be grateful for. But I think, you know, it's probably those relationships that I really need to focus on. So I think this is a great exercise that should be done any time that you have a problem with a relationship in your life, because I do think a lot of relationships can be healed by focusing on the good of the person rather than the bad. I hope you're getting on well with the magic. Do remember, as always, you can comment on the Facebook group, which is Soul Sync by Jason Paul. Lots of love.